Hi, welcome to Midnight Expressions. I'm Lauren Remington, and today's card is going to be, it was an Easter card. Today we're going to turn it into a birthday card. So here it is. Hopefully you can see it. Lots of little glitz and bling on the pretty crown. This paper I received from Etsy. I bought it and paid for on Etsy, and beautiful paper, very pretty. And then this part here I created this little foil thing. There's another one, the foil. This one the foil didn't turn out so good, and it's crooked, so I won't use this one today. But to create this, to get this thing foiled, what I did was I used, let's see, I started with taking this image on my scanner of the die cut from Spellbinders, and I put it down. I think I put it down this way, down on the scanner this way, so this cut side up, so it scanned underneath. And what that did is it created this whole image, and then from there I brought it into Paint Shop Pro, and then I removed with the why can't I think today? The paintbrush in there, and I basically matched the color of black, and then basically wiped out all these, erased these holes. So this whole area here would be black in the shape of this, but just all black, no holes. And this was left like it is because that printed out in white then. So what I did is I did that first, saved it, brought it into Make the Cut software. You've heard me talk about it 100 times. And then with their font, which is kind of hard to figure where it is, it's kind of hidden a little bit, but once you find it, it's fabulous. And you can install any font you want. And so I installed the font and then typed in Happy Easter. I did another one that said Happy Birthday, another one, You're Amazing. And you use a variety of fonts, however you want to do it. And then I created on the page, like maybe, I think, 8 on one side, 8 on the other of these. And then I printed them out through my laser printer in this darkest black as you can set your printer to. And you do it both in your software and also on the printer itself. I use a, it's an HP MPW or something like that. Anyway, it's a nice laser. Lasers don't cost anything anymore. I mean, Zippo, but the toners, toners will break you. So anyway, so this is, again, the die I used for that. And then when you print it out, it's jet black, and you have the word on it and everything. And then I cut it into smaller pieces, just so it would fit in easier into my foiler. I turned on my foiler, and you have to heat it up. Mine goes to 200, I believe. And then you put your, assume this is all black now, I would put that inside with the foil on top, and put it foil on top. Where is it? There it is, foil on top. And then you wrap it between, sandwich it between a fold of paper. And I discovered actually just a regular old sheet of paper, typing paper, actually works the best for me in my foiler. But you can experiment with it. And you just put it through, it automatically pulls it through, and then you let it cool down. And then when you peel off the foil, it leaves the actual image and everything with foil on it. So that's how that works. I'm going to tilt you down, get going here. Okay. So these are the dies that I used. This is just a square die by, you know, of course with a little scalp thingy. This one, these three are all by Spellbinders. Okay, one was more rectangular, one's square. Same basic shape though, because you want them to be complementary. And like these here are kind of rounded as well. So always consider your dies, they need to complement each other if you use them on one card. Then in addition, I threw in this one, which is a tattered lace die. I love it. It makes a wonderful, wonderful, really pretty little ribbon. Isn't that pretty? A bow. Very delicate, very delicate. And you can push it out in various places. You can mess with it and moosh with it and make it more 3D, however you want it to look on your card. Okay? I also used brads. These brads I found on sale at Michael's, and they're by Recollections. So They were on sale. I don't know if they're still carrying them, but and they're real pretty. They're like a cute little itty bitty heart. Let's see if you can see that. A heart with a pearl. Just so cute. Okay, so that's that. And then again, this paper, what I did with this paper, I printed it out and then I used this die cut to cut it out. And then I used a stickles and just glittered it up a bit. And it really, with the eyes on the bunny glittered and the little bit there on the crown, made all the difference in how this really pops. Okay, so we'll just keep going here. And I also, I used this ribbon because see, it has the same kind of silver glitter. It just goes so well with that paper. And I'm going to tell you that I like to give my students choices when they're making their cards. So they can choose Happy Easter, or they can choose Happy Birthday, You Are Amazing, whatever. I try to give them some choices, and certainly with their stamps they can, you know, put whatever they want in there. This paper here I found, and then I also went ahead and copied it because I needed many more than what I had. And I just printed it out on photographic paper. And there's nothing in the booklet that says that it's illegal to do that, so I'm hoping that I'm okay. I don't get hauled off to jail. Anyway, also the size of it is perfect. I was able to shrink it down. That's a lot of the reason. I mean, I buy so much paper, but a lot of times those big 12 by 12s and the ones that are like odd sizes, you know, the pictures are too big for an A2 card. So I end up having to use, I end up shrinking them down. I modify them and then shrink them down and come up with something that we can use. Okay, so now I've got my A2 card. You've heard me talk about that many times. It's from the center out is 4 1/4 by 5 1/2 this way. And if you want to make your own cardstock, you take an 8 1/2 by 11. Imagine there's two pieces, two duplicate pieces here. That would be 8 1/2 by 11. You cut it down the middle and fold them in half. Easy peasy. So easy to do. And then you have your own cardstock. Just be sure when you do your cardstock that you make sure that it's a fairly heavy cardstock, preferably 100 or 110. Lower than that, they bend too much. Okay, so we're going to get started. We'll go ahead and do this one. And I'm going to go ahead and place this one on first. Okay. We'll flip it this way. Yeah. So before I put this on here, I'm going to go ahead and add this piece first. I didn't have to use gobs of tape, but enough to hold it on there. Let's see. I'm working upside down for you guys. Okay. Just want it a little bit more. I did a fun card last night. It was a really cute aquarium card. It just turned out really nicely. I was very pleased with it. Okay, I'm going to go ahead and we're going to put this on next. It's important to get them in the right orders. And I'm going to try and line it between the bunny and the crown so it doesn't, you know, interfere at all. So it's not going to go on the corner. It's going to go kind of onto the side of the corner and to the side of that corner. And to do that, we're just going to put some tape on it. And a lot of you have done all this stuff many times, probably some of you many times more than me even. But it's fun. So sometimes I might sound a little redundant, but sometimes we get people in that have never done a card in their life. And it's nice to keep them in mind when we're trying to teach them how it's done, because everybody deserves to have this quality time. And it, again, card making for me is not just about how beautiful the card is that you can send. It's also tranquility and peace of mind and serenity. So Sometimes we need that serenity, sometimes more than others. Okay, so today I'm making a birthday card. So we're going to go happy birthday like this. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to mark it with a pen. I think I'll use this mic. Then use this one. So we're just going to go like this, bring it down here in this kind of no man's land. Just going to go like this and like this so we know where to cut it. And that's before all this is done before we ever attach it to the card. Now this is where we're going to use this crocodile, and it has a puncher in it right here, right on this. See if you can see it. It's right here. Do you see where that pops through? See, watch, see it? That's a puncher. And they have a big one and a little one. We're going to use the little one. And it doesn't matter that the hole that I drew is bigger because it's okay. I have to kind of find the hole. There we go. So slick. That really works pretty darn good. Except I messed it up a little bit here. So hopefully we messed them both up enough. It's okay if you mess one side, then you gotta mess up the other side. Make a match. So there we go. Alright, good. So now we're gonna put our brads through. These brads actually have a little heart on them. My kitty's watching what I'm doing and she's wondering who I'm talking to. She's a smart cat. She said, "Who are you talking to, Mom?" Okay, so since it's a heart, it's kind of nice to, I'm really trying to push these out a little bit. I want the heart to kind of stay in the position that it's in, with the heart side up. Another one, flip this little puppy through. Rusty is the name of my kitty, and she's a calico. She showed up on our property when we first moved here. And that's been 18 years, so she's around 18 years old. She was she wasn't even a year old when she showed up. Can't imagine people drop cats off like that. And she wasn't wild. She was semi-tame. She was real sweet. She wanted our attention. And she said, "I think this would be a good home." And I'm so glad she did. She's the fastest cat I've ever seen. She used to run clear across 5 acres and up a tree in like a split second. But now she's old like me. So neither one of us run like that anymore. Okay, so there we go. So now you got your brad. And I'm sorry if I meander a little bit in my chit-chats. I hope it doesn't disturb you too much. So I'm going to put it like this. So we'll go like this. And all we do is just, now this is one that now is when you want to get it on pretty tight. So I'm going to go all the way around the whole area, going down the middle. Okay. Now I'm going to try and make it match. Okay. Looks pretty good. So that's that part. Now we're going to work on the inside. The inside one, I think the way, if I recall, I believe, let's see, I think I did "You Are Amazing" on the inside, with this going here, like so. And then we had this one here. I don't recall if I put it here. It's too big to put it there. The other way I may have done it, because I'm sorry, it's been a while since I did this one. Might have done it this way, in which case this is way up high, and you go, wow, that's way up there. That seems kind of odd to be slipping this in. However, the reason I think it was done that way is so that this, because it's kind of long, this little guy, I think the idea was that it would go just barely at the tip, and the tip, and the tip, and like that. And it sounds like I've got that Ring doorbell. It sounds like somebody's at the door. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and put my brads in here. I'm working upside down here, so let's do it like this. It's not easy to flip it upside down all the time and figure out where you are, but okay. Anyway, the aquarium one that I made is so cute, and for the seaweed, I just happened to find that's what inspired me. I was out in my yard with my puppies, and it was after a big storm, and some not algae, what did I just say? God, I can't remember anything anymore. The moss came out of the trees, and it looked so much like seaweed, I couldn't believe it. And I thought, wow, I mean, this is moss I've never seen before, so it must have come from way high up in that tree, is all I can figure. Okay, so I'm putting it way down here, not off the page, but way down to where just the tip of this is going to be touching. And we're going to glue that. Grab my glue. There it is. And you just want the tip. Not very much. Just like that. You don't want it on here at all. Again, just the tip. Like so. Now, what that should do, you gotta hold it there for a second. And not too much glue, you don't want it all over the place. And now what that does is, again, it creates the pocket so this can't fall through. See, it just goes right down to about there. Still, it's not over the edge, and this is not over the edge, so that's the right size. Okay, so there you are. Isn't that nice? So I'm going to let this rest for a moment. And while it's doing that, I'm going to put a little bit of color around the edge. I should have done that on the front, but I didn't. Oopsie. Also, I don't know about you guys, but I love biscotti. And look at these containers that it comes in. These huge containers that are so easy to get your hands down inside. So I've started using it to hold my Tombow markers. And oh my goodness, it makes it so much easier. So much easier. Now, the color that I want, I think I'm going to use this one. And it's a number, if you care, 757. Unfortunately, Tombow doesn't put names, color names, on any of their Tombow markers, but they put numbers. And somewhere I think there's a chart that has a matching color to the number. So there's one side. And the best way to do this is to go from the middle to the left, whoops, front to back, which I didn't do, and now I messed it up. I should, don't do as I do, do as I say. Because I slipped. My hand slipped. It's easy for these things to slip, and you don't think it is, and then until you do it, and they go, oh no. So that's what I did. I messed it up right down there. I'm going to show you, see? Too bad. So sad. Don't know what to do about that. I'll figure something out. We can put something on there. So anyway, that's what not to do. Now, the other thing that I should have done is I should have centered this better. I'm going to move that off, move it over. Move this off. Gonna move it over a little bit. Now you really have to have it I'll make sure it's centered. That's better. That will just look a little nicer, a little bit cleaner. Another card I made that I'm going to give a tutorial on is one of those zipper cards, and I did mine differently because I used my Make the Cut software, and I designed it in there, the zipper part, and it works. And the reason I'm waiting on it is I'm waiting for some tape, and the tape is a repositionable tape. So it's one that is a small bond. It's not going to be a hard bond, so it'll keep the you can keep re-zipping it, zip it and unzip it. So I'm just waiting for that to come in. I'm going to work on this here real quickly here, make sure I've got it lined up. So I'm going corner to corner. If you get these two corners, if you get them kind of lined up, it should line up the rest of the way. There. Ta-da! That's the inside. There's the outside. Okay, that's it. So before we go, I'm going to tilt you back up, and I want to talk to you briefly, real briefly, not to take too much of your time, but I want to tell you about a product. Now, I don't get any compensation from any of the companies. I haven't figured out how to do that yet. But this is Fiskar, and this is their older model. So for those of you who may already have one, oh, here comes her tail. There goes the kitty. This is not a good one. This particular one is not a good one. Fiskar is great, but this model, see, it's all white. This part here is white. The other thing I didn't like about it was, can you read that? I can't read that. It has numbers across here. And I even tried putting some black ink on here to make it there. If you turn it just the right angle, sometimes you can almost see it. It's awful. It's a terrible one. But when I called Fiskar's, I spoke to their customer service and warranty area, and they were so nice. My gosh. They sent me, didn't ask for a penny, they sent me this one. They didn't even ask for the old one back. They just said, yes, it's a real bad one, the one that I had. She says she was very much aware of the one it was that I was using. And because I called and said, maybe I'm just not doing it right. I don't understand how you can possibly see the numbers. And that numbers are underneath the white. On the other one, where this bar is, the numbers are down here. So your paper covers up the numbers. So how are you supposed to figure it out? So where you are and what you're cutting. This one is awesome. This one here, look, it has blue butterfly. No, it's not butterflies. I guess it's like leaves or something. Some sort of a little plant, all in blue. Has a little blue thingy here. Well, they both have blue thingy there. But basically, it's white with that. And the other thing is, look at this one. Ha-ha! You can read that. See? And it's very much in alignment with this, so your paper doesn't drop way off. On the other one, it was way out here. So when you're trying to measure, you can't have a ½ inch between your paper and the dot on the board. It's got to be close. So the only thing I think they could do better is if this actually was extended out like a square, so that way, you know, it would still fit. It would still fit in here, I think, but it would give you a little more space to put a bigger piece of paper on it. But other than that, it's a great machine, and I've used it several times already now with great success. The other one, I was always off on my cuts, and I'm just going to throw it away because it's not worth keeping. And I certainly wouldn't want to give. If it was halfway decent, I'd give it to someone, but it's not worth giving away. So I thank you so much for your time. And I hope you enjoyed the class. And please stay tuned for my zipper card class because it's going to be awesome. It really turned out cute. Okay, bye.